What's going on, winners? It's your boy Loso 2.0. And today we're talking about, can confidence be learned? Now, before I get started with that, just some housekeeping things. If you're watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button below. Subscribe to the Winners Win channel. If you are listening to this on any type of podcast platform, leave a review below. 5 stars is definitely appreciated. But can confidence be learned? I wholeheartedly believe confidence can be learned. And the reason why I believe confidence can be learned is due to the fact that I taught confidence to myself in a way. So before not fast forward, but rewind back to when I was younger, I was definitely lacking in confidence. I mean, honestly, back when I was younger, I was so scared to even talk to people, like even have a conversation with people. That's how much I lacked in confidence. I lacked in the confidence to even have a conversation with anybody because I was just scared to talk. I was actually literally terrified to have a conversation with anybody when I was in school, to have conversations with any other students, which actually in turn, it still got me friends, right? I wouldn't say I was a loner, but I was scared to actually just even speak to people. And then, fast forward to today where I'm actually public speaking in front of multiple sets of people. How did I get from there to here? Well, first I would say confidence, it was, I cared about what people thought too much. I cared that if I started talking and started speaking, that people would look like, people would start to be kind of like weirded out or whatever when it pretty much came to me. Or like came to me or came to what I said. That is why I ended up not being pretty much that confident. Now, the next thing I would say is this. What else also worked with me lacking in my confidence? I was someone who before was, and I'm sorry, I kind of got lost of words, just got a text message, but me lacking in confidence, like I said, came from me not being able to scare about what people would think about me. So I stopped caring about what people thought about me, for one. And what helped me gain my confidence was a couple of things, which I also talked about when I talked about confidence for athletes. I kind of discussed these things as well. I talked about the confidence in, one, when you do something over and over again, you feel as though you kind of build a reputation for it. For example, here's this table. This table is only can only, do a certain amount of stuff, but then each time you do something to it, there's just a flat table. Every time you do something to it, it gains another leg to it. Another leg gets added onto it. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to confidence, when it comes to building reasoning behind something, right? You have this table, you have this thing, and then every time you do something, you're getting yourself an extra leg for it. Example with Kobe Bryant, which I always like going back to Kobe Bryant because on a mental aspect, he was one of the greatest athletes ever because of his ability to have confidence in himself, his attention to detail, so many different things. And Kobe, when that last second shot, if anyone's a basketball player here, that last second shot is just so difficult to take because people are scared to miss, they're scared to fail, they're scared that if I miss this now, it's on me type of thing. And it's just a lot. So and with that being said, though, now people are scared to take that last minute shot. So what I do now is I actually, he will work on that same shot over and over and over again. So he's like, why am I scared to take that last second shot if I worked on this shot plenty of times? Why are you scared to talk to someone? Why are you scared to do this? Why are you scared to do that when you have done this or you worked on this thing multiple times before? Why are you afraid now? So that's kind of the idea and the concept that, I got from it was like, why be afraid to do one thing when you can do that other thing, over and over again. When you're already doing that thing over and over again. So that's what I want you guys to think about, right? Confidence can be learned by putting yourself in these situations where you're already prepared for the worst. Another example, and I probably spoke about this before too as well, was when I was listening to that Eric Thomas video with the Navy SEAL training. And I talked about it before in this podcast with that Navy SEAL training. It all comes back to this too as well, preparing for the worst. Expecting success, but preparing for the worst. When he expected success, you always expect to win. You always expect to be the best at whatever you do. But then when you prepare for the worst, you're preparing for yourself to actually, when you expect the best, prepare for the worst. When you prepare for the worst, you're actually prepared for someone to, you're preparing for the worst thing to end up happening. That's what I was talking about with my sales reps when I was telling them, worry about the objections. Don't worry about pretty much pitching the idea. That all comes with energy and things of that nature. But if you actually prepare for the objections that you're going to get from the customer, now you can actually, I guess, react to it when it comes to it. So they may say, hey, this is too high, or I got to talk to my wife. You already know what to say to that person because of the idea that you actually, worked with them or you actually helped them. So that's what I was talking about with that idea of preparing for the worst. When you're building your confidence, prepare for the worst. Prepare to not be able to do that, right? Prepare to, for someone to make a mistake. Prepare for all these bad things to happen. That way, when you prepare for these things to happen, you're like I said, you're prepared, right? You understand this because you already went through it. In confidence, the only opposite of confidence to me, honestly, is fear. And the tattoo that I even have on me is fear of God don't occupy the same space. So why would I be fearful of something if I know God has me? Confidence is because you lack that. You're having that imagination, right? Your creativity and imagination that you have is actually pushing you towards the negative side of things. So take that imagination, take all those things that you had before, and then put that into, your confidence, right? Take all that imagination, all the stuff that you're working on, put that into the confidence of the things that you work on. Use that imagination to imagine yourself being successful. Confidence can be 100% learned. But people that work with one-on-one clients, a lot of this stuff that I'm teaching them, the part with setting boundaries, when it comes to the women, when it comes to gaining skill sets, when it comes to the men, all of that, the majority portion of that comes down to confidence, comes down to your self-worth and what you believe in yourself. Alex Hermonzi says something special too as well when I was listening to his podcast. He talked about the idea that, all right, these people are not going to die with me. They're not going to be at my funeral. They don't care whether or not I die. Not in a sense of they just want everybody human on the earth to just perish or just pass away, but they're not going to care if I die. And then they're not going to care even if I do die, they're not going to come to my funeral and I'm not going to go to their funeral. So why would I care about what they think if they don't even know me or if they're not even going to be with me for, pretty much the majority of my life? Why would I even care about it? So you have to think about it like that. Stop caring about what people think too as well. That's also hindering you back from confidence, which I'm telling you all these things to do. But like I said, when it comes back to an actionable plan of teaching yourself confidence, think about the worst things that can happen with whatever it is that you're in, right? And prepare some type of rebuttal for those worst things to happen. Some type of actions for what you're going to do when those bad things end up happening. Second thing is to practice it. Practice it all the time, right? Continuously practice. And then third is to keep studying. Just keep studying, keep learning, when you're going to become more confident in something, the more hours and the more energy you put towards this thing, right? If the whole day that you're awake, the whole 16 hours of a day that you're awake, 16 to 17 hours that you're awake, are you working on your craft? Are you beating your craft? Are you working on these things that will help you become better in whatever it is that you want to do? Are you constantly studying? Are you constantly getting better? These are the three things that if you're looking for an actual plan that's going to teach you confidence. So again, back to the question of whether or not confidence can be taught. It absolutely can be taught. But then it comes down to whether or not you are willing to be taught for it. If it's a skill issue, confidence is a skill. Or is it a will issue? Are you willing to be taught or are you scared to be taught about confidence? So that's really all I have for you guys today. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button below for more topics on confidence and sales. And if you're listening to this on any type of podcast platform, leave that 5-star review below. Keep killing the day. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.